Hi friends, it's Nathan, a second-year pharmacy student studying at the University of Waterloo. Welcome to my channel and welcome back to my channel. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, you definitely should. It's at NathanWu. You can check out my day-to-day life as a student as well as get some daily motivation. Even though I'm a pharmacy student now, I love English literature and I became a very good writer because of it. I also want to say that this video is kindly sponsored by Grammarly, which you will hear me talk about a little later on. I received the English medal for having the highest English grade in my graduating high school class, and I've gotten multiple hundreds on my essays. Most people think you can't get perfect on an essay, but title is not clickbait, and I'm proof that it's very much possible. Even in college, I consistently achieved close to perfect scores on my lab reports, essays, reflections, really any writing piece, and I want to show it to you. So without further ado, here's how to write a perfect essay. Since it's the time of deadlines, midterms, and exams, I want to tell you about Grammarly, who has kindly sponsored today's video. Grammarly is a digital writing assistant, an all-in-one tool that improves productivity and saves time when assignments are piling up, thus making it a must-have for students. It's free to download and you can integrate it into your emails, your Google Docs, and so much more. I send a lot of emails and Grammarly always has my back, checking if I'm making any spelling errors, some grammar errors before I hit send and can't retrieve the email back. As well, because I've been using Grammarly for years now, I've noticed that their corrections are actually improving my writing over time because I feel like as we progress through education, we're no longer getting critiqued on our writing. However, Grammarly is ongoing in everything that you write on your laptop, so being able to see those changes and know your mistakes will ensure that you get better writing scores all around. Like I mentioned earlier, depending on the type of essay you have to write, your writing style will change, and Grammarly's setting goal feature is perfect for that. It'll ensure that you're getting the right message across to the right audience. Grammarly Editor also has a built-in word count to ensure that you're always meeting the word requirements. Later in the video, I'll be talking about word choice, but Grammarly actually has a synonym feature that will replace overused words, allowing your writing to be that much better. With midterms and assignments piling up, succeed in school with tools like Grammarly. All the features that I mentioned are free, so why not? Go to grammarly.com/NathanWu to sign up for a free account, and if you want more features, you can upgrade to Grammarly Premium for 20% off so that you can save more time and work even more efficiently. Thank you, Grammarly, and then continue on with the video. Depending on the type and topic of your essay, you're getting to do pre-work. Now, pre-work looks different for each essay. If your essay's purpose is to analyze text, for example, Shakespeare, a novel, a poem, then your very first step is to understand the information. The information can get pretty complex, so I recommend looking up study questions. You can usually find these online, especially for well-known text. So you'll be able to find a set of questions for each act in a play or for each chapter in a novel. Answering these questions will ensure that you're understanding what's happening in the plot, and that's pretty surface level, which is a great way to start. However, for your essay, you're gonna have to go much deeper because you're actually gonna be analyzing the text. So I always make notes on character development, themes, symbols, etc. Like all those kind of things that are not plot-based, but are more of the message or the underlying thing that we're trying to uncover from a text. Those are things that I like to take notes on. And to organize this, I use tables. Usually it's just like a T table. On the left side, I'm gonna have the character, and then on the right side, I'm gonna have the evidence. So how is the character progressing? And if there's any quotes that they say that are very monumental or important, and then it just goes on. So like your symbols or your themes, you're gonna write down your evidence, again with quotes directly from the text to back it up. Now, beside your quotes, you also want to put in your page numbers, and really you should be putting page numbers for any evidence that you're writing down because you're going to probably refer back to your text while you're writing, and you want to be able to find that information easily and accurately. Also, those quotes that you're accumulating over time, those will be inserted directly into your text, and I'm telling you, they love when you insert quotes because it shows that you really have been diligent in your note-taking, and if you're diligent in your note-taking, you most likely understand what is going on, and having that physical quote to back up your argument just makes it so much stronger. If your essay's purpose is to inform or persuade, then you need to start doing research. Now, I recommend starting with a Google search just to gain an understanding, to see what your options are, how you want to approach your essay. Once you have a good idea of the direction you want to take, then you're going to start going into databases. So you're going to look at things like journal articles, systematic reviews, analyses, and even textbooks to really come up with your arguments. Please, please, please do not use lay websites. I can't stress this enough. No matter how good your essay is, if you use non-authoritative sources, so a blog post, maybe like a Reddit thread, which another student just your age is writing about too because they have an opinion on the topic, it really makes your essay look weaker. And it may not be weak, but just the evidence you have doesn't look good, and therefore the entire paper suffers. Once you have all your quotes and research done, you're going to start typing immediately, right? Wrong. Make an essay plan first. An essay plan is an outline of your essay that goes through your introduction, your thesis statement, body, and conclusion. And I understand that not all essays will follow this format, especially creative essays. If you have more creative freedom, then your outline just needs to be a blueprint of your essay, just so that when you go to write your essay, you can stay narrow, you can stay streamlined, and you know the direction that you'll be writing towards. Thesis statement. So this is 1 to 2 sentences that provides your essay topic and your arguments. Spend some time on this and really ensure that it encapsulates your entire essay. And your thesis may change as you're writing your essay because your arguments may change, and that's fine. However, make sure you have a working thesis prior to writing because this will keep you in the right lane when writing. Most likely you're going to start with your introduction. And I say most likely because not everyone will be able to immediately write an introduction. So it's fine, and it's actually more advantageous if you wait until you're finished then to write your introduction, because the introduction and conclusion often go hand in hand. So if you're able to finish your essay, you have a very good idea of the direction of your essay, you can write your introduction to make sure it flows really well. So your very first sentence of your introduction is going to be your hook, and your hook should not be a question or a quote. Do not make this mistake. Those are cliches that are overused and tend not to be very significant and have much meaning, so just avoid those. Do something that is unique but not excessive. As you're writing your essay and even as you're doing your research, and you should be coming up with kind of thoughts and ideas in your head, and those are great ways to use it as your hook and figure out why you're even writing the essay, like what intrigued you about it, and incorporate that into your hook. Once you're done writing your hook, you need to add your background information. Now, this needs to be kept intriguing. This is not a plot summary or a history lesson. This should be giving relevant details for your reader to understand why you're writing the topic, what the significance of it, and the direction that it's going to take. It should be drawing the reader in more. It should be enticing them to read more, okay? And that is your introduction, and then you're gonna finish off with your thesis statement. For your body paragraphs, you want to develop your thoughts in an orderly fashion. Your first sentence is going to be your introductory sentence where you explain your argument. The following sentences will be your evidence, which is your ideas and opinions backed up by quotes or research. And at the end, you're going to have a concluding sentence that summarizes your argument. This is the format you want to follow every single time for every single paragraph. This makes it very easy to follow, very easy to read, and you want it to be easy to read for your prof, your teacher, your TA, whoever's reading the essay, because they have 30, 50 other essays to read. So the more enjoyable you make yours, the more inclined they will be to give you a better mark. Your conclusion is going to summarize your essay and provide the so what. Why was this relevant? Why did you make me read what I read? And a pro tip is to connect your essay to the real world. And this shows that you're able to apply what you learned in the classroom, what you learned in the text, or what you gathered from your research into the real world to make a change, to make a difference, to have a tangible outlook to it. Your very last sentence of the essay should be meaningful. It should persuade your reader to think a certain way, to feel a certain way, and if they're able to remember your essay after reading it, then you know you've done a good job. Your sentences should consist of mostly complex sentences, and these are sentences that have a independent and dependent clause joined by a subordinate clause. You really shouldn't be doing simple sentences unless they are warranted, so unless there's a purpose for it. If you wanted to make it dramatic, if you wanted to highlight a certain thing, then it's intentional and then you can use it. But other than that, complex sentences are the way to go because they're able to connect ideas, they're able to merge concepts, and they add a lot of eloquence and flow to your writing. Depending on the type of essay, you can use literary devices. For example, metaphors, hyperboles, alliterations. All these things will really add character to your paper, make it unique, especially if it is a creative piece. That'll be the cherry on top. And I'm telling you, teachers love it when you use this, okay? They will lap it up like milk. But be intentional when you add it. Don't overuse it because the last thing you want is a metaphor every other line and all I see is like, as, okay? We don't want that. Use it intentionally. Another important tip is that you shouldn't be using 3 or 4 letter words in your essay. So things like good or bad. Avoid those at all costs. There are 60 probably other words in the English language to describe good. And the thing is, good is not very specific. You ask someone, how are you doing? They say, I'm good. What does that even mean? It's not specific. Don't use it in your essay. Use a word that fits. Again, you need to understand the word that you're using so you don't insert a word that doesn't really apply to the context because that could ruin the sentence. And you have options, right? Always know you have options, and this would be a great time to use Grammarly's synonym feature to help you find the word that you want to use. Once you're done writing your essay, you need to proofread it. If you have the time, don't proofread it the same day you finish it. Because your brain is so convoluted in the writing process, once you're done, you'll be reading it as an author and not as a reader. So take a break, view it on another day when you have a fresh pair of eyes so that you're actually looking at it as a reader and not as the author. This will allow you to capture mistakes that you have or just to see any breaks in your thought process. Maybe it made sense up here, but looking at it now, it doesn't. So that is how you're gonna catch those mistakes. I know back in high school and elementary, they really promoted peer editing. I was never a fan of it. I didn't do it. Because I was one of the best writers in the class, having someone that was less competent reviewing and providing recommendations on my work didn't really make sense. And when we were required to do it, I would give it to someone hesitantly, and then I would not take any of their changes. And if you weren't confident in your writing ability, you would blindly accept those changes the other person made, which would make your paper suffer. And the last reason is that I didn't want people to steal my ideas. So for you guys, I would recommend asking an older sibling or an upper year student or a friend that has not taken the class, but you are confident in their writing ability. So those will ensure that you're actually getting constructive criticism, and obviously no one's gonna steal your ideas. This would be another great opportunity to use Grammarly. Because it's designed by experts, you can ensure that all the recommendations they're giving are justified. And that is how you write a perfect essay. If you've taken detailed notes, performed reliable research, planned your essay, crafted a strong thesis statement, wrote in a systematic format with complex sentences, and then appropriately proofread your work, then you are bound to get a higher essay score. Lastly, please remember that writing is a process. It is not overnight, it takes time. The more you write, the more practice you get, and the better you will become. And guys, enjoy the process. I think writing is very therapeutic and it really allows creativity while an exam doesn't, not so much. Really enjoy the process and the feeling of reading an essay once you finish it and once you've really let everything out onto it. Reading it is just really rewarding. So guys, enjoy the process. Right? It's all about mindset. And if you dread writing the essay, the 2,000 words is going to take a lot longer. It's going to feel a lot longer than it really is. But if you're writing about a topic you like and you have a good attitude towards it, it's going to be better. That's how it works. If you found the video helpful, please make sure to give it a like. Let me know in the comments what the topic of your essay is about. And if you want to see more study tips, more study vlogs, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get notified every time I post a new video, which is Tuesday at 11 a.m. EDT. And if you want to see more day-to-day content of my life as a student and daily motivation, make sure to follow me on Instagram at NathanWu. But that's it for me, and I will see you friends in the next video. Bye.